15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Rural poverty refers to poverty in areas including factors of rural society, rural economy, and political systems that give rise to the poverty found there. Rural areas, because of their spread out populations, typically have less well maintained infrastructure and a harder time accessing markets, which tend to be concentrated in population centers. Rural communities also face disadvantages in terms of legal and social protections, with women and marginalized communities frequently having hard times accessing land, education, and other support systems that help with economic development. Several policies have been tested in both developing and developed economies, including rural electrification and access to other technologies such as internet, gender parity, and improved access to credit and income. In academic studies, rural poverty is often discussed in conjunction with inequality, which in this context refers to the inequality between urban and rural areas. But like poverty in general, there are higher rates of rural poverty in developing countries than in developed countries. Eradicating rural poverty through effective policies and economic growth remains a challenge for the international community. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, three-quarters of those in poverty are in rural areas, most of whom are smallholders or agricultural workers. Those livelihoods are heavily dependent on agriculture. These food systems are vulnerable to extreme weather, which is expected to affect agricultural systems the world over more as climate change increases. Thus, the climate crisis is expected to reduce the effectiveness of programs reducing rural poverty and cause displacement of rural communities to urban centers. Poverty sets international goals to address these issues and is deeply connected with investments in a sustainable food system as part. The first problem is the lack of opportunities and skills training for most of the working age population. Over the years, a shortage of adequate investment in quality education and basic services like health, sanitation, waste management, and skill training has had its consequences. It has led to generations of malnourished, uneducated, unaware, and unskilled or semi skilled people who find it difficult to find decent paying jobs, as agriculture is barely a lucrative option. Their only job option is to seek out work in the cities' informal economies. Millions migrate to the cities every day to take up informal jobs such as domestic help, driving cars for middle class people, taxi driving, construction site work. Stop. Over.